Okay, so now that we're pretty much on the second side of the homework, I think I plan on doing it in a slightly different way in hopes that it will actually help in the understanding. So, without reading any problems, I know that angle TUJ which is this one, plus angle JUV is always equal to the big one, the whole one, TUV. That's the equation. So I'm going to do it for the first four. In this one, angle BCF, which is the little one, angle BCF, plus the other little one next to it, angle FCD, is always equal to the full angle BCD. Okay, two more I'm just giving you the equations for. So on the left, IJB, which is the little one, plus BJK, which is a little one, is always equal to the big outer one, which is the whole thing, and that is angle IJK. So will do one more, just the equation. So EFZ is a little one. I'll put it over here. EFZ plus ZFG, which is the other little one. ZFG is always equal to the big one, and that is EFG. So if you have that understanding in your mind, then you can actually go to the equation and see what you can do with the problem. Number 12 says angle VUT. VUT, you can read it backwards if you want. It means the same exact thing. That is 17x minus 3. Oh, I'm reading the wrong thing. VUT. VUT is 175. Sorry about that. But then it says angle VUJ. I'm reading it backwards. That one is 17x minus 3. And if you keep reading, it tells you JUT. And that one is 17x plus 8. If you solve that equation, you will have solved for x. So let's set up the next one. In the next one, and this is number 13, angle FCD. So here it is, FCD. That angle is x plus 41. It then says angle BCF. That one is x plus 78. And finally, it says angle BCD. That one is 95. That's the equation you have to solve. In number 14, it says BJK. That's in the middle. That is 146 plus 2x. And then it says IJK, which is at the end, is 172. And then it says IJB, which is in the beginning, is 2x plus 26. And if you solve that, you will have figured out what x is. And in the last one that I have set up, number 15, it says GFZ. I'm reading it backwards, so it's the middle one. That is 38 degrees. It then says ZFE. Read it backwards. That's in the front. That is 2x plus 125. And then finally, GFE, I'm reading it backwards, that is x plus 163. And if you solve that one, you can get the value of x. So in the first one, 17 plus 17 is 34x. 8 minus 3 is 5, and it is equal to 175. If you subtract 5 from each side, you will get 34x equals 170. But actually 34 goes into 170 evenly. It goes in 5 times. And you're done with that question. In the second one, combining like terms, x plus x is 2x. 78 plus 41 on a calculator is 119. You're still going to have to subtract the 119 from both sides. It will give you a negative number. Definitely use your calculator for that. It is 2x equals negative 24. And when you divide both sides by 2, you get x equals negative 12. Okay, in number 14, I got my equation. 2x and 2x is 4x. 26 and 146, if you add them on a calculator, it's 172. Don't get confused or stressed out. You have to subtract the 172 from both sides. And although we normally just cancel it on the left-hand side, you do need to write down something on the right. And when you subtract them, you do get 0. So when you divide both sides by 4, and definitely use a calculator, because your answer does come out to be 0. And then finally, the last one that I set up already, there's only one 2x on the left, but 125 plus 38, if you're going to use your calculator, is 163. Same thing is going to happen as before. When you subtract x from both sides, you're going to get x plus 163 equals 163. And when you subtract 163, you're going to get x equals 0 once again. So if you want, you can write the equations first and then fill in all the variable stuff. Or you can do what I was doing on the front side. So I only have 5 problems left. Number 16 says LMN. Isn't that the total? That is 135. That's the total. Then it says, for the second one, LMV. LMV. That's one of the small ones. Is, oh, I keep reading the wrong one. Negative 1 plus 45x. Negative 1 plus 45x. You have to add the other small one to that. So the other one says angle VMN, and that's the other small one. And it tells you that it's 23x. And if you can solve that equation, you have the answer. Let's go to 17. Number 17 says WIG. Did I label it wrong? That's a W. It says WIG. So here's W. Okay, I don't know why I can't see in this lighting. It does not say G at all. It says WIJ. But just know that that's a small one, and that one is 10x. You have to add the other small one to it. So it says HIJ. HIJ is not the small one. That's going to be the answer. That's 145. Then they tell you HIW, the other small one. The two small ones have to be added together, is 2x plus 13. And that's the equation you're going to solve. All right, I'm up to number 18. Let me fold the paper so I keep looking at the right problem. Number 13 says angle ABC. That's the large one. That's going to be the answer. That is 17x plus 8. Then it says angle ABK. ABK is a small one. That is 42. You're going to have to add the other small one to it. And the other one, KBC, there's the other one. They tell me that that one is 12x minus 4. So that's the equation you're going to solve for number 18. Now, number 19, I got to squeeze this stuff in the corner. It says ZHG. So here's Z, here's H, here's G. That's a small one. So it's 11x. Let me see if you could see that. Yes, 11x minus 1 plus. Then it tells you IHZ. IHZ, that's the other small one. You're going to add it, is just 24. But then it tells you that IHG, that's the big one. That is 12x plus 13. I wish I would have planned a little better, but just squeezed it in there. Okay, and finally, the setup for number 20. Angle GFN, that's a small one, is 4x plus 10. NFE, that's a small one, so add it together, is 14x plus 3 equals GFE, that's the big one, 157. So that's the problem that you are going to solve for that one. So I will grab a different colored marker because there's so much writing on the board. And for number 16, 45x and 23x, when you add them, you get 68x. There is a minus 1 and it's equal to 135. When you add 1 to both sides, you will get 136. But if you divide both sides by 68, it actually goes in evenly. Your answer for x is 2. And that takes care of 16. Number 17, the left-hand side has two x terms. When I add them, it is 12x, and then there's that plus 13, equals 145. But then when you subtract 13 from each side, you're going to get 12x equals 132. But rest assured that when you divide both sides by the number 12, you will end up with 11 for an answer. All right, we are up to number 18. And on 18, the left-hand side says 12x, and 42 minus 4 is 38. And that is equal to 17x plus 8. Now, I don't have a lot of room. It looks like I'm going to crash into the problem that's underneath it. So I'm going to do 2 steps in one line to save space. I am going to subtract the 12x from both sides. But in the same line, I'm going to subtract the 8 from both sides also. It's a lot of work in one step. The left side is just now 30. The right side is 5x. And when you divide by 5, you get 6 for the answer for x. So sorry I crammed that one in there. And even worse is number 19, which is almost at the bottom. Okay, so in number 19, there's only one x term on the left, but a negative 1 plus 24 is 23. And because of my lack of space, as you can see, I'm going to once again do 2 steps in one line. I am going to subtract the 11x from both sides, but I'm also going to subtract the 13 from both sides. That would give me 10 equals x. And that's my answer for 19. All right, so finally my last one. 4x and 14x is 18x. 10 and 3 is 13. And it's equal to 157. If you subtract 13 from each side, you will get 18x is equal to 144. Only to divide both sides by 18. Now, when you divide by 18, it definitely goes in evenly. Your answer comes out to be 8.